Good morning, student. Today we are going to see about movement and locomotion. What is movement, locomotion? Already we have discussed. Let us see elaborately. Although both movement and locomotion sound similar in their meaning, there are few interesting differences between the two terms. Let us see what is movement. Movement is generally defined as the act of changing the place or position by one or more parts of the body. That is movement. Again I am saying movement is generally defined as the act of changing the place or position by one or more parts of the body. What is the uses of movement? Movement helps to perform necessary functions such as pumping of blood. Who is doing pumping of blood? Our heart. To different parts of the body in an organism. Movement can both voluntary movement and involuntary movement. There are two kinds of movement, voluntary movement and involuntary movement. Let us see the example of voluntary movement and involuntary movement. For example, voluntary movement, walking is a voluntary movement. Walking. What is voluntary? You will think to walk. It is under your control. If you think to move one particular place, you will walk. Otherwise, you won't walk. So, if you think and do, that is voluntary movement. What is involuntary movement? The example is breathing. Breathing is an involuntary movement because it is under the control of brain. Brain is controlling the breathing. If you like or don't like, we have to breathe. Even when we sleep also we are breathing. Inspiration, expiration or inhalation, exhalation is continuously going on. For a minute 16 times it is going on. It is the control of brain. We no need to think, I am going to breathe now. I want to breathe now. Like that it will happen automatically. So automatically it happen, that is involuntary movement. The movement of an organism from one place to another is known as locomotion. What is locomotion? From one place to another place, that organism is moving. That is locomotion. You are going to your friend's house. That is locomotion. Movement very simple. Our body, inside heart is there. Heart is sending blood to all the parts of the body. That blood. That is movement. Our lung is breathing. That time lungs are moving slightly. That also movement. Our muscles are moving while we are running, walking. That is what movement. Locomotion means we are moving from one particular place to another one particular place. Locomotion. What is the use of locomotion? Locomotion helps an organism to find food, avoid harsh weather conditions. For example, even from foreign countries, some birds are coming to our country, particularly Tamilnadu, Vedandangal, Kundankulam. You know that. To avoid that harsh weather conditions, escape from their predator. Escape from their predator. Who is predator? For example, for goat, lion, tiger is the predator. Okay, that predator can eat that prey. Let us see the examples for locomotion. Walking, running and swimming are the few examples for different types of locomotion. In this process, there is the action of appendages. What is appendages? limbs. That may be four limbs, kind limbs. The first two leg is called a forelimb. The remaining two leg is called kind limb. It is usually present in mammals, particularly that lower mammals. Goat, have. Even human being also. The first two hand is called a forelimb. The leg is called kind limb. Wings. Birds using its wings to fly. Flagella and cilia. Bacteria is using to move from one particular place to another particular place. In most of the aquatic animals such as fish, whales and shark, the locomotion results from a series of wave-like muscle contractions. Let us see the differences between locomotion and a movement. Locomotion is the movement of an organism from one place to another. Movement, you know that? Movement is the act of changing the place or position by one or more parts of the body. Locomotion always voluntary. Movement either be voluntary or involuntary. Locomotion takes place at the organism level. Movement takes place at the biological level. Locomotion doesn't necessarily require energy. Movement requires energy. Now, movement in different animals. There are many animals is given in our book. Earthworm, cockroach, how it is moving, birds, snake, fish. These animals, how it is moving is given example. It is given example. Let us see one by one. Movement is one of the significant features of living beings. This is the basic mechanism used in majority of the vertebrates, including human. Animals exhibit a wide range of movements. In this part, let us study about movements in different animals. First, we are going to see now earthworm. The body of earthworm is made up of many rings joined end to end. It has muscles which help to extend and shorten the body. Under its body, it has large number of bristles called setae. We are moving with the help of our legs, but earthworm is moving with the help of setae, bristles. That brush is there, Daily we are cleaning our teeth with brush. In that bristles are there. In that bristles is there even the earthworm also, which are connected with muscles. These bristles help to get grip on the ground during movement. The earthworm first extends the front part of the body, keeping the rear portion fixed to the ground. Then it fixes the front end and releases the rear end. You have seen, many of you, the first anterior portion will not move, only the posterior part will move. Then anterior part will be moving, the posterior part will be taking rest. It then shortens the body and pulls the rear end forward. This makes it move forward by small distances. Repeating such muscle contraction and relaxation, the earthworm can move through soil. A slimy substance secreted by its body helps this movement. One activity is given, if it is possible you can do and see. Observe an earthworm moving on soil in the garden. Gently lift it and place it on a piece of blotting or filter paper. Observe its movement now. In which of the above two surfaces do you find that the earthworm is able to move easily. Where it can move easily? You find out and say. Thank you, students.